Hello, gorgeous. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. And as always, I am so excited that you have made it back to my platform. In today's segment, I'm going to tell you exactly how I stepped into my true identity and started standing in my personal power. So grab a pen, tag a friend, because I'm hoping you will get some nuggets to help you along your own journey. First things first, y'all, I allowed myself to sit with the discomfort of being alone, to just sit with it. I don't know if many of us recognize how much time we don't spend alone, especially if we're moms or we work a corporate job or we're also in school or we're caretaking our parents. We spend the bulk of our time with other people. And when we're home alone. And like, that's that. We're exhausted from the day. We don't really have the time to put thought into dinner or all these other things. So in 2020, when I called off my wedding and I moved to that shoebox apartment, my boys moved in with their father. That's the first time that I'd ever truly lived alone. I was over 30 years old and I had never been by myself. And the process was terrifying. And it was scary for a long time before I realized how liberating it was. See, when you're a people pleaser and you're overcoming that, you realize that you've been eating what other people want to eat, watching what other people want to watch. I didn't even know what radio show I wanted to listen to because I listened to whatever the kids wanted to listen to. And so it was a process of learning and accepting that I could do things my way. And then let's not forget that weird feeling, that discomfort, that almost fear of people seeing me by myself and thinking I was lonely or discarded or nobody wants to be with her. Once I got over that, and baby, that took time, I realized I was unstoppable. So I intentionally took myself out to eat. I intentionally took myself to the movies. I intentionally went to the grocery store alone and it's late. And yes, you could say, Kayla, that's risky, but I needed to know that I could do it. When we face our fears, the fear loses control over us. So I want you to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do something alone that would be typically done by a group of people. I challenge you to do that. I also kept like a little journal and I would jot down things that gave me joy. And so I learned that my favorite flower is pink peonies. I really like Jasmine Sullivan and SZA and Janae Aiko. I learned these things by the process of allowing myself to be alone and not influenced or impacted by other people. Okay? Cool. Step number 2, I stopped allowing my corporate role or my social role in my family or in the community to define me. Now, every single one of us has a corporate heartbreak story. If you don't have one, keep working in corporate and your time is coming. And we won't rehash mine right now, but I remember thinking to myself, yes, I'm a social worker, but I could be a social worker anywhere. And I said it with such like affinity. I said it so hard that it knocked me into reality that any of these labels that have been stuck on me or any of these labels that I've been so eager to embrace, they're temporary. They are temporary. It means that I could maybe not me be replaced, but any other woman could fulfill those roles, right? And so it allowed me the opportunity to recognize I needed to detach from those labels and become a person so that when any of these things were taken from me, I was not detached from my identity because I'm like, who am I if I don't work here? Who am I if I'm not your full-time mom? Who am I if I'm not this caretaker? Who am I? I started to become a person who absolutely loves my family, but recognizes that either of us can make choices or decisions that the other person is unhappy with, and we can love each other in spite of that. So where can you start to detach so much from the label and start to encompass who you are and what that role means to you more? So, okay. So really consider that. Okay. And finally, I started to explore my natural talents and passions, and I started to act and show up big in those avenues, regardless of the potential consequences. And so, if you know me or if you've been watching me for a while, as you have probably guessed, I am an extrovert. I love being in the mix. I love teaching. I love people. I love all of that. And the propensity for things to go south in this social media climate is really high. Like anything that I post can be circulated on my kid's iPhone before he leaves homeroom. I'm very aware of that. And so in many aspects that stops me from doing anything because I'm like, I don't want to embarrass them. I don't want them to be sad. I don't want them to be scared. I don't want people to laugh at me. And then I realized I was holding myself back. I was allowing the fear of failure or the fear of embarrassment to stop me from sharing my story. And I started a business. I'd never done that before. I'm a first generation entrepreneur. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with that. But I decided that I would constantly keep on my mind that discipline weighs pounds and regret weighs tons. I have the ability to show them that anything is possible, but that means that I have to put myself out there. And that's what I want them to do, right? I want them to put themselves out there. I know that I'm social. I know that I'm fun. I know that I'm a resilient, lifelong learner. And when I started defining myself by what I am rather than what I'm not or what I have the ability to do, it changed the game for me. And so, what are your passions? What are your interests? Are you a singer? Can you go to a local open mic? Are you a writer? Can you go to like one of those spoken word things? Like, where can you tap into your talent and kick it up a notch and take it to the next level? Now, let me be very clear. I do think that there is a misconception. Every single one of your talents doesn't have to be turned into a side hustle. But if that's what you want, sis, chase it, okay? Chase it. So these are just three of the ways. There were many, many ways. There are three of the ways that, like, the very steps that I took to step into my true identity and start like standing in my personal power. If you're ready to do that, I got something for you, okay? Right now, I asked a question at the beginning of the year. It was, who are you? And it rocked my little corner of the internet. Like, people were tearful, people were stumped, people were even angry with themselves because they were like, Kayla, if I can't tell you my family role, community role, my corporate fund, I don't know. And when I see a need in my community, I immediately leap into action. And so right now, if you book today, just for these next 24 hours, you can get a 30-minute self-discovery call with me. I know, pick your jaw up. I know, for $27. It's 30 minutes. I have a comprehensive workbook. We're going to deep dive into some questions about your identity, your goals, and the way that you manage stress. I love that. After these 24 hours, the call is immediately going to $47. So if you see this today and you even think for a second this might be for you, book today because the price is going up, okay? I love you. I want the best for you. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. And always, I cannot wait to see your transformation. Have a happy Wednesday, girl, and we'll talk soon.